Knight takes d4 of Fabiano Caruana in SuperBet Romania Chess Classic 2024, round number 2. Hello my fellow chessers. I'm gonna show to you, my fellow ka-chessers, the chess game between Fabiano Caruana and Wesley in SuperBet Romania Chess Classic 2024, round number 2. So let's begin on c4, e5, d3. This is English opening, King's English variation. Knight f6, knight f3, knight c6, a3, g6, g3, bishop g7, bishop g2. This is like reverse Sicilian, my fellow chessers. As you can see, c4 and then e5, like reverse Sicilian. d5, c takes d5, knight takes d5, castles kingside, bishop d2, a5, knight c3, knight f6, rook c1, rook e8, knight b5. What's the idea of knight b5? To open this file, so let's continue the game. h6, bishop e3. Okay. Knight d5, attacking the bishop on e3. Bishop c5, knight b8, e5, attacking the knight on d5. Knight f6, a5, b6, bishop a3, knight a6, mistake of Wesley. So the best continuation on this position is c5. That's the best continuation. So let's continue the real game. Knight a6, d4, good move of Fabiano Caruana. Bishop b7, attacking the pawn on e4. Knight e5, defending the pawn on e4, my fellow chessers. Bishop takes e4, bishop takes e4, knight takes e4, knight takes f7. Brilliant move of Fabiano Caruana. Wow, as you can see, double exclamation point. Queen d5. Why Wesley didn't take that knight on f7? Why? If we take king takes f7, we have queen b3, check. Example, rook e6, the move of computer engine. Then rook f e1. Pressure on e5, my fellow chessers. The move of computer engine is rook c6, rook c8. Then we have h4, the move of computer engine, and decisive advantage for white. So that's why Wesley didn't take the knight on f7, even though this is free. Queen d5, knight e5, good move. Knight g5, mistake or inaccuracy of Wesley. So the best continuation on this position is rook e6. Rook e6 to get a battery. So let's continue the game, real game. Knight g5, mistake, preferring for knight h3, checkmate, my fellow chessers. As you can see, the queen, diagonal queen. So let's continue the game. h4, rook takes e5, sacrificing the rook to knight. D takes e5, knight f3, check. King h1, good move. Queen b7, okay. Rook c3, knight d2, at this check on diagonal on queen on b7 at the same time attacking the rook on f1. So let's continue the game. King h2, knight takes f1, queen takes f1, queen e4, f4, rook d8, preferring for rook d2. So let's continue the game. Queen c4, check my fellow Kachesers at the same time attacking the queen on e4. Force, queen takes c4, rook takes c4, c5, h5, g takes h5, rook e4, bishop f8, king g2, king f7, f5, bishop e7, b3, knight b4, bishop c2, bishop g5, knight d6 check, king e7, bishop f4, knight c6, knight b5 mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is rook e3. Woo! Rook e3. So let's continue the game. Knight b5 mistake, knight d4, f6, king f7, knight takes d4 mistake of Fabiano Caruana. The best continuation on this position is knight d6, knight d6. Okay, knight d6. That's the best continuation. So let's continue the game. Knight d4. As you can see, the evaluation bar is equal. C takes d4, e6, king takes f6, bishop c1 attacking the rook on d8 at the same time attacking the pawn on b6. So let's continue the game. Rook e8, bishop takes b6, e3, d3, bishop a5, d2, rook d4, rook takes e6, king f6, king f3. Why? Because if you take sample takes, we have rook e2. As you can see, double attack, my fellow Kachesers. So let's continue the game. King f3, king f3, rook e3, king f2, rook takes b3, bishop takes b2, d2, bishop takes d2, rook takes d2, rook a3, rook behind pass pawn, my fellow Kachesers. That is very important, my fellow Kachesers. So let's continue the game. Rook d4, king g5, king g2, rook a1, rook d5, king g4, rook d5, king g5, rook d5, king g4, rook d4, king g5. Draw, my fellow Kachesers. As you can see on this position, the evaluation bar. Ooh, as you can see, the evaluation bar is decisive advantage for white, my fellow Kachesers. Correct my term if I'm wrong, okay? The lesson for this chess game is never give up, whether fighting for a win or fighting for a draw, okay? Standing for round number 2, my fellow Kachesers.